Hello friends, this is lesson number 72 in the series of British literature, and today in this lesson we shall discuss Francis Bacon's essays. This is part 4 on Francis Bacon, and in the previous video, if you remember, we discussed two of his essays. One is on the marriage and the other on of studies. So on different topics I have already told you he has written essays, so we shall take up these essays in this video. You may not see these videos, or this video I should say, that important because these essays are not much asked about them in the exams, but for knowledge sake I would say that these essays are worth reading. You may go to Google and find these essays, and you can definitely, if you really like philosophy, you want to know about the views of the people who existed in the past, then you will definitely enjoy these essays. So without wasting any time, I'm just talking about these essays in pretty short, you can say, in nutshell. So the first of travels. So about traveling he has written, and it was published in the edition of 1625. And what he says about traveling now, he says traveling is the part of education, and when you are young it is education, and when you are elder or in your old age it is about getting experience. And he says that you must keep diary notebook to gain knowledge, because traveling is the way of getting knowledge. There should be a guide to help you. He must be an experienced person to take you through to the different places, to tell you about the past or the history of that place. So traveling is about getting knowledge. And he also says that one should keep traveling. One should not stay at one place all the time. He should be changing his places. At time he should be visiting different places. And you should also disassociate yourself from the fellow people. Means you are living at a place and you are always surrounded by them. So just try to disassociate yourself from these fellow people and try to meet new ones. So you should meet new people, you should visit new places, and then you will definitely meet those people and get experience, get knowledge, and try to visit eminent places, the important or historic places, and also try to meet eminent people, the important people of your locality, society. Keep yourself away from quarrels, and if you meet new people, and try to maintain a contact with them through letters in the future. Suppose you are going to Jammu Kashmir and you are visiting there, and after a few days you are coming back. You should keep yourself in contact with the people whom you met there through letters. Okay, these days we have different ways of communication with the WhatsApp or so, but according to him, at least there should be a communication for the rest of their lives. And one more thing, he says when you travel to new places, you should learn a new culture. You should not leave your culture, but you should try to get something out of those new cultures that you experience. Whichever you can adopt, you should adopt. So there is one quote regarding this essay I have found that is maybe important. Travel in younger sort. Travel in the younger sort is a part of education, in the elder, a part of experience that I told you in the beginning. So, this is about travel. Next, we have of friendship. This essay was published first in the edition of 1612 and then enlarged in the edition of 1625. Now, there is a one quote regarding this, so just try to listen because if I type, I think it will take time. Okay. Uh, Whoever is delighted in solitude is either a wild beast or a god. Whoever is delighted in solitude, solitude means in being alone. If you are happy, then either you are a god or you are wild beast, means you are not a normal human being. Aristotle says, a man by nature and behavior may be degraded I should say, degraded to such extent that called unfit for society. So Aristotle has written a work, Ethics, and in that he says that man can be degraded to that extent that he is unfit for society if man is living in solitude. So, indirectly, Francis Bacon is also advocating that one should keep friendship or should have friends. And Bacon, he does not rule out the solitude, but he says that it is of a great kind. Simple words, normal human being should have friends. If you are of a great kind, you are of a higher level, then you can be in solitude. If you are a person like Buddha, Mahatma Buddha, if you are like that, then you can live in solitude. Otherwise, for common human beings, he says that you should have friends and friendships. So we should enjoy the society. Friends means the society, the company that we keep. And further, he says that friends are necessary for good mental health, and we should, they are used as a therapy to control ourselves, to help us in tough situations, to control our emotions, passions, sorrow, joys, even for giving advice. There should be friends. And further, he says the great people or the people of a higher rank, like kings and princes, they should have friends and they should raise their friends to great heights. So, you may say that it is the duty of a person to raise his friends, and he gives some example from the Roman history. There is a one term I should say we should first discuss that, that is participes. Participes. Sorry, I just write here participes. Okay, this may be a Latin term. So like this. Okay, and there is one more word, curarum. Curarum. Okay. So this term he talks about in the essay Friendship. It means sharer of their care, sharer of their cares. So friends are the sharer. Friends are the people with whom we can share. And then he takes some names from the Roman history, like, okay, I just mentioned these names. Sella. You know about Julius Caesar, and in that history we have some names like Sella, who helped. Sella had a friend, or you can say his fellow. The name is Pompey, Pompey the Great in the Roman history. Then we have Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar helped one very famous name. He helped Antonius. Antonius or Antonius, however you may take this name. Okay, I just write this name. Julius Caesar. Okay, there may be, yes, Caesar. So he helped Antonius. Yes, Antonio or Antonius, whatever. Then we have one more name, Augustus. So these names he takes in this essay. Augustus. So Julius, by his name we have the month of July, and by the name of Augustus we have the month of Augustus. So adopted son of Julius Caesar, I think, Augustus, and he helped his friend, the name is Agrippa, like this, okay? So further he takes one more name, Tiberius Caesar. Okay, these names are not that important, but at least you should go through them once. Tiberius Caesar and his, you can say, fellow Sejanus. Okay, so these are the names he gives as the example of good friendship, and where one friend is helping the other friend to achieve great heights. He says, friendship functions for a man in double, yet paradoxically manner. It redoubles the joy and cut the grief in half. So with friendship, your joys are getting double and your griefs are getting half. So that is very common saying. Even in Hindi we say खुशियां बांटने से बढ़ती हैं और दुख बांटने से कम होता है. Same thing like that. Okay. So further he takes one more name, and that is Heraclitus. I just write his name here. Heraclitus. Okay. What he said about friendship. Dry light is ever best. Okay, I am not going to translate that. Just remember this phrase, very important. Dry light, even on Google you can easily find this. Dry light is ever best. The light he receives from, sorry, by counsel from a friend. So simply he says that we get better counseling, better advice from our friends. That is very important. Sometimes it is more, you can say, important than our own judgment. And then Bacon, one more quote he says, Francis Bacon, I should say, friend is another half. Who said this? Francis Bacon. Is another self, I should say, not half, another self. So somewhere friend is creating our mirror image. So man may have many desires and his unfulfilled desires may be taken care of. So friendship satisfies in one another's accomplishment. So with the friends, with the friendship, we can achieve or we can complete, fulfill our desires. So one last quote we take. For a crowd is not company. He says, for a crowd is not company and faces are a gallery of pictures. So simply he criticizes if you have number of people in your circle. Friends can be one or two or three, not a huge crowd. That may be just a gallery of pictures. Now, next essay that we have, that is on of great places, that was published first in the 1612 edition and then enlarged in the edition of 1625. Here, by the word places, it does not mean place. Actually, it means position, of great position. If you are in power, you are in great position. So he talks about the people who are in great position, like king, emperor, ruler. So he says, uh, being in great position, it has its own merits and demerits. So there are plus and minus, means positives and negatives. Benefits and drawbacks we have if we are in great position. He says, Men in great place are thrice servants. Three times. Men in great places or place are thrice servants. So they are not free, they are not independent. So what kind of servants they are? Servants, sorry, servants of the state or sovereign, and servants of fame, because they are obviously they are in power, they will be famous, so they hold more accountability than common people. And servants of business. Business means work. So this is about the great position. So they have no freedom, uh, and they are more likely to be responsible than the common people because their actions will be taken into account. And then he talks about the responsibilities of the people who are in great places. He says that they should not hurt the other people. It is a very delicate position and they should avoid the bad ones. They should analyze the things themselves and they should be role models to others. They should learn lessons from the past and history. They should plan future. They respect the laws. So just imagine you are a king. You are a, you could say, renowned person of the society. So these are the things applied to you if you are in power. And further, he warned the people who are in great position. He says that they should keep themselves away from corruption and they should be punctual, they should be kind, they should not be partial. So, every good quality of a good leader you can associate to the people who are in great places. And further, he says that people in great place has to be another man. So, man of a different kind. So this is not that long essay. So there is a one more quote I would like to just write here. That is, death falls heavy upon him. Death falls heavy upon him means here death has great value. Means the death of that person is very crucial for society. So the life of that person is very important. Who that person is? Who dies? Sorry, who dies? Who do well to? Sorry, just a second. I just repeat. Death falls heavy upon him. Who dies well known to others? Well known to others. So the person who is well known to others but unknown to himself, but unknown to himself. So like this. So there is one UGC net question in the previous year. So I just write that there was a question and the quote was all rising to a great place. All rising to a great place is by a, and then there were options and we have to fill. So the answer was winding stair. Okay, so for this we have to go deep into that essay. So just take this question and if there be actions. So this was the statement given there and this word or this phrase I should say was among the options and we had to choose. So, all rising to great place is by a winding stair. So, after this, we have another essay that is on truth. Okay, revenge we shall do later. So, of truth. What he says about this now. In this essay, he raises a question: what is truth? In fact, he is quoting from the history: what is truth? Who said this? This is a famous line in the history. Who said this? Uh, Justin Pilate. Okay, I don't know what is jesting, maybe his name, but Pilate, I should tell you that this is okay. This may be his name. Justin Pilate. Pilate is the Roman emperor who gave the order for the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. And during that case, I would say, he simply asked, what is truth? And he did not wait even for the next second and he just left. So it seems like he was not interested to know what is truth. And later, he did not take the accountability for the actions that he took, that is the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. So, what now Francis Bacon say about this? That value of truth is only realized by people who are experienced and well understood. Importance Truth has importance in philosophical, theological, and also in everyday life. And humans are mostly, he says, attracted to lies and they do not like truth. But he says truth takes the man to great heights. So, one more name he mentions, that is Montaigne. Okay, so Montaigne is the another essayist from France, Montaigne. He says, man who tells lie is afraid of his fellows. Okay, I just write very simple. Man who tells lies is afraid of his fellows. So, being afraid, we tell lie, but unafraid of God, who is all perceiving. So the people who lie, they do not fear the God, they simply fear the people. But we all know that God is watching if we are religious. So he says that people tell lie because they are afraid of the other fellows or the people. So this is all we have about the essay on truth. And next we shall take that is essay on revenge. So of revenge now. For revenge he simply says revenge. He criticized that we should not go for revenge. Revenge is a kind of wild justice. So this is not a good justice. This is something wrong. Revenge is a kind of wild justice. Wild means something negative, not acceptable. Revenge is uncivilized and can only be found among the brutes, the people who are brutal. Brutes means the people who are not loving or they are not social, they are just wild people. And further, he says that forgiving an enemy is a moral superiority. So he is advocating that we should go for forgiving the others, not taking not taking revenge. And further he adds that we should look forward and forget the past. And man who does wrong to others. A man who does wrong to others because of being selfish and his love for himself. So we should seek forgiveness from others. We should apologize for our mistakes and we should seek for forgiveness. And then he says, pleasure of revenge does not lie in causing pain to others. If you want to have pleasure, but it does not give pleasure if you are causing pain to others, and better it is that you should make them realize their mistake. For example, just if say I am a teacher, I am in the class and I am causing pain to my students, it will not give me pleasure. The best pleasure I can give, or I can get, I should say, uh, when I make my students realize their mistake. So this is the quote he is making. And further he adds one more, so this is also worth writing. A man that studied. Okay, these are the old English spellings, so I just write them. Revenge. So the man who is going for revenge keeps his own wounds green, which otherwise would heal and do well. So if you are looking for revenge, you are giving pain to yourself as well, and your wounds will remain green. They will not heal if you are just looking for revenge all the time. So after that we have one more essay. So this is the last one for this video. So we just talk about superstitions. Having said that, I don't say that all his essays are done. No, there is a huge list of his essays. I just have taken the important ones which I found interesting. Almost on every issue he has written essays, like an essay on anger, essay on negotiating, on glory, on religion, unity of religion, on parents, on children, on goodness, on mosque and triumphs, on regiments of health, on suspicion, on riches, on beauty, on fortunes, on praise, on gardens, ambitions, discourse, innovations, dispatch, adversity, nobility, empires, buildings, prophecies, suitors, number of, they are just like endless. Means almost on each and every topic you will find his views worthy. Anyway, so the last one we are talking about, that is on superstitions or the false notions. This one also was published in 1612 and later enlarged in the edition of 1625. So, false notion means something that is not true. And he also talks about the issue of God. Because you know that most of the people have superstitions about God. They may worship God, but they are following the superstitions. They are following the wrong practices which may not please any of the God or divine power. So what he says, that false notions towards God are highly insulting. So if you have a wrong opinion about God, for example, if there is wrong practice, any wrong practice in any religion, and you think that by that the God will be pleased with you if you hurt the other people, and the God will be pleased with you, this is a wrong practice. And Francis Bacon says, such wrong practice, such a false notion, such wrong belief is insulting. You are insulting God. Better to be atheist. So there are two terms, you know, that astik and nastik in Hindi we say. So theist and atheist. So he says that rather than having superstition, you should have no faith in God. So you should not have any faith in God rather than if you keep false faith or superstition. It does not really make any sense. And he adds that atheist, the person who does not believe in God, atheist, he rejects God. He has his own reasons, his own sense. That is why he is rejecting God. And Francis Bacon says that atheist, the people who does not believe in God, Gnostic. So atheist people, they are still better than the people who are having false notions about God. So such people, atheists, they do not cause any disturbance. They do not create any uncommunal or something, any behavior that is hurting the society. So they do not follow the things blindly. So the people who are following the things blindly, they are more dangerous for the society. So here is a quote regarding this. It were better to have no opinion of God. So you should not have any opinion of God means you may be atheist at all. Then such an opinion as is unworthy of him. So if you are making a wrong opinion about God, so then I don't think, or Francis Bacon says that having wrong opinion about God is of no use. It is unworthy. Then you should not have any opinion about God. So you should be atheist. So further, one more quote I just recite. The master of superstition is the people, and in all superstitions wise men follow fools. Arguments are fitted to practice in a reserved order. So that is all for this lesson. We just talked about 5 or 6 essays. So this is all we have for Francis Bacon. Not too many questions are asked in the past from these essays. In the next lesson, we shall have another writer from the Elizabethan age. So thank you, and try to make your notes while listening to this video. You may pause the video, write important quotes. There was not that much important, that is why I haven't written much about these essays. Okay, so thank you and have a very nice day.